Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening on a Wednesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm super. How are you doing?
Very, very good. The day today is kind of a special day. It's the day before Thanksgiving. So today's the day that everybody's going, okay, do I not eat much today so I'm really hungry tomorrow? Or do I eat a lot so I'm not a pig tomorrow when the family's around? So my plan is I'm going to eat a lot today.
You're going to eat a lot both days.
I'm going to eat a lot tomorrow, too, most likely. Not that I really planned that, but it just happens. We do have a special guest coming up in the program today, author and currency expert Andy Gause, and we're going to be talking about whether or not retirement is just a dream. For many people right now, as they reach retirement age, they're going, okay, well, I can't quite retire yet. So we're going to be talking about that with Andy later in the program. Did you know that the Earth travels through space at 660,000 miles per hour?
I did not know that.
Yeah, and if there's no cops looking, they go a little faster than that.
I don't know why anybody would need to know that.
That's just how fast we're going. So we're not sitting still. We're going 660,000 miles per hour.
I see.
Cruising through space. Coming up, going to talk about what special stuff's going on today. It's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. Today is Wednesday, November the 25th. Today is International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women Day.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a long title, so that's a big deal. Also, International Hat Day. It's a big deal, too. And it's the time of year that a lot of people start wearing hats, more so than the other times of year.
I'm not a hat person year-round. I never really wear hats.
I like hats.
Other people can pull them off, and they look really cute in them. I put them on, and I look like I'm trying to get away with something that I shouldn't be doing.
You getting ready to rob her liquor store? Or what are you up to there, lady? It's also Shopping Reminder Day today. It is Blasé Day and Taiwan On Day. Wait a minute. You do that every day. I believe that's a drinking a term, isn't it?
But now I'm going to have to really tie one on today because it's the day. So
there you go. Today's the day, Wednesday, November the 25th.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Tweety Bird gets a girl kicked out of school. Yeah, imagine that. Not long ago, a kid in Wisconsin was suspended from school for having a keychain that looked like a gun. Well, now there's a girl in Atlanta that has been suspended for having a Tweety Bird wallet.
Why? What was wrong with the wallet?
Well, let's take a listen here. Ashley Smith, an 11-year-old girl at Garrett Middle School, was suspended for 2 weeks after officials noticed her wallet, which was a wallet that bore an image of a yellow bird-like cartoon character, and it was attached to a 10-inch keychain. The school has banned chains as part of their zero-tolerance weapons policy that places items in the same category as pellet guns, ice picks, and swords.
Okay, well, chains I see, but...
So she had a Tweety Bird wallet that had a chain
on
that hooked to her belt loop or whatever, and they kicked her out of school for 2
so
weeks.
So she wasn't kicked out because she had a Tweety Bird wallet. She was kicked out because she was carrying a chain.
Okay, but it was hooked to a
title probably.
Tweety Bird wallet.
It doesn't matter. If she's not supposed to have a chain, she's not supposed to have a chain.
So you saying that if it would have been just a regular wallet with a chain, she still would have been kicked out?
No, I'm saying if it would have been a regular... Yes, absolutely. And I'm saying if it would have been just a regular Tweety Bird wallet with no chain, she wouldn't have been kicked out.
Unless, of course, they
so
don't
the fact
like
that it had Tweety Bird is completely irrelevant in the story.
But I think that the Tweety Bird just sets the tone to the fact that she's not a gang member. I don't know how many Tweety Bird gangs there are out there, but this 11-year-old girl in Garrett Middle School... she, again, was suspended for 2 weeks.
But if they don't draw the line all across the board, then there's issues. So,
and it's about time somebody does something about it. Otherwise, some 11-year-old girl is going to beat somebody with a Tweety Bird wallet chain, and then we're going to have all kinds of other trouble. So I get it. I just thought it was ridiculous. And it's true because...
I will say,
yeah,
if somebody had attacked me...
Yeah.
When I was a child and I had a Tweety Bird wallet with a chain on it, I would have smacked them with it.
I know you would have.
So it's just common sense that they step in and say, yeah, you can't have any
take
chains.
that out of here. All
Yeah.
right. That's going to do it. You know it's true because calm down, Heidi. Calm down. Take a deep breath. You know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. When traveling with drugs and weapons, first of all, that's not a good idea, period. But it is a good idea if you're going to do that to at least have a valid driver's license and maybe, I don't know, obey traffic laws. That was not the case for 43-year-old James M. Moran of Messina, New York. Police pulled him over for driving, and they found that he didn't have a driver's license. He had a driving infraction. I don't know if he was speeding or what. They towed his vehicle. It was during the police inventory of the vehicle, they discovered several packets of cocaine and a shotgun.
Wow.
As it was being towed off to the impound yard, he was being towed off to jail.
Wow.
So, yeah. If you're going to be driving around with that kind of stuff in your car, you'd think you'd at least obey the traffic laws.
Yeah, you'd probably drive a little more carefully.
You know, again, I'm not a criminal by any means. I'm not a criminal mastermind, but I can tell you, if I were breaking the law, I would be sure to at least not break
Draw
traffic
attention to
laws.
myself.
Yeah. All right, there you go. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
As we're sneaking up to Thanksgiving, I got a story of a real turkey who bought 300 turkeys to help sell car parts. Take a listen to this. Southern California car parts dealer bought 320 live turkeys for $5,000. It was for a promotion where he would let the turkeys run loose in his yard and give those who buy a part for their car a chance to run around the yard with a shotgun and try to shoot one of the turkeys. The problem was the car dealer never checked to see if the city would allow such a thing. Now he is stuck with 321 turkeys running around in his yard. Now, the idea is hilarious because, first of all, who would give somebody a shotgun to just start shooting
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
at turkeys? But this guy was going to do it. So I don't know if it helped him sell any parts, but I guess we're talking about
I would have bought a part from him.
Yeah, like I don't even need a headlight, but I want one just so I can shoot a turkey. $5,000 he spent on turkeys. So there you go.
Wow.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your Scoop of the Day. Scientists have discovered the first glowing sea turtle in the Solomon Islands. A marine biologist discovered and documented the first biofluorescent reptile. It's called a hawkbill sea turtle. Marine biologists say, and a biology professor, rather, at the City University of New York, David Grubner, said they were filming small biofluorescent sharks near Nugu Island on July 31st when the turtle swam directly into them. So they were checking out these biofluorescent sharks, and now they have a biofluorescent turtle.
Was there like toxic waste dumped in this water or something?
I don't know what's
Why are
going
they all
on. But
fluorescent?
I don't know. They're all glowing. You know what? I suppose if they live in the dark, they need to be fluorescent so they can kind of see. I'm guessing. I have no idea. Anyway, a 5-year-old boy suffering from cancer had his dream fulfilled after becoming a police officer for a day.
Aw.
Chavez Forte was sworn in by the Pittsfield, Massachusetts Police Department and given a full tour of the police station. He got to go check it all out. No word on whether he got to cuff and stuff a bad guy. That would have made it awesome. Yellowstone National Park, they're proposing to kill 1,000 of their bison this winter.
Oh.
Because they are afraid that if they don't kill off some of the bison, then a lot of them, more than that, would starve because there's not enough food for everybody. So they're saying they're going to kill off some bison.
I like bison meat.
I wonder, that's what I was going to ask. I wonder if they're going to at least, process them. Do you think they would?
Oh, yeah.
I would hope so. About 6.5% of U.S. adults meet physical activity guidelines while working. That figure represents the proportion of people who meet activity guidelines only from work, and it did not include those who meet guidelines if leisure time exercise was also counted. So only 6.5% of us get like an actual workout at work.
Yeah, I know we don't.
Well, it's hard work. I'm clicking this mouse over here. Going to have to take a break because my right hand is really sore from all this mouse clicking. A new study indicates that grapefruit can help dieters lose weight, and it may also be a good way of controlling blood sugar levels. Bad news for me, I don't like grapefruit.
I love grapefruit.
I know you do. Researchers at the University of California, Berkeley found mice that drank grapefruit juice while eating a high-fat diet for 3 months gained 18% less weight than a controlled group that drank water. In addition, the mice in the grapefruit group had improved levels of glucose and insulin. So good news for mice with diabetes, I guess.
I wonder if that works with
humans?
greyhounds, the vodka
I doubt
grapefruit
it.
juice.
That's a greyhound?
It's called a greyhound or a salty dog, depending on where you're at when you order it.
Okie dokie then. Well,
I'm going to try that.
I bet you will. How long do they do it? For 3 months they did it. Every day for 3 months.
I can do
Nothing
that.
else. Heidi's going to be in a really good mood for the next quarter. All right. More than half of U.S. employees say they take business calls or check their work email while on vacation. The convenience of laptops and mobile devices make vacation time work a whole lot easier. Researchers say there is such a thing as too much work, and it's necessary that we simplify and unplug from the office once in a while. So,
I agree with that.
yeah, probably true.
Even just unplug from all devices, period.
Yeah.
Because I'm awful with my, over the weekend with my phone, I'm sitting there scrolling through it and looking at stuff. I need to just turn it off and walk away.
Unplug. Have fun.
Yep.
According to new research, listening to music at work actually makes you better at your job. So crank it up, kids. The new study found that workers perform their tasks better if they're listening to music. More than 80% of those involved in the study had more accurate test results and worked faster if they had music playing. However, it should be noted, the study was concluded on behalf of several music licensing companies, so the people behind the research kind of do have a little stake in the game. So I just want to make sure we note that. All right, you ready for your strange law?
I am ready.
In Rhode Island, it is a misdemeanor to keep more than 11 inoperable vehicles in front of a house.
I would assume.
Good news.
I would assume one would be.
You can have
plenty.
11. Any more than 11, you're in trouble. What in the world? Who picked that number? In
We
Rhode
went
Island?
to a place in Wyoming where I think that was the law
yeah.
there too.
I remember
that?
Yeah, we almost
We're looking
moved
at
there.
moving there. We drove into town. We're like,
There were cars
no.
parked. It was like, yeah, let's just keep. I don't think we even slowed down in the town. Let's keep driving. Anyway, Rhode Island, again, it's a misdemeanor to keep more than 11 inoperable vehicles in front of a house. There you go. That's your strange law. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a special guest that we're going to be talking with today about some really important topics here. With Social Security benefits floundering, will you be prepared for retirement? Will you even be able to retire? For millions of aging baby boomers, the dream of retiring and living comfortably in the golden years is really turning out to be just that, a dream. We have currency expert Andrew Gause, the author of The Secret World of Money, and Uncle Sam Cooks the Books. And he says we're facing the greatest retirement crisis in the history of the world. Andy is one of America's foremost experts on the history of U.S. currency. He's the president of SDL Numismatics in Hawthorne, New Jersey, and a member of the American Numismatics Association. In addition to his books, he's also the editor of the World of Money newsletter. And we have Andy on the phone with us now. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, John. How about yourself?
Fantastic, and I'm excited to chat with you. My son is a coin collector and a big fan of money, so he's also numismatically inclined. He's very into that, so he's going to be excited that I was talking to somebody that has the credentials that you have. But we're not necessarily just talking about the numismatic part today, but we're talking about retirement. And why is it that there's so many people when it gets to that time where they're supposed to be retiring, they're outliving their money? Why is that happening?
Because we don't know what a dollar is. I mean, you know, your son could probably answer that question. He'd hold up a silver dollar. And, you know, for me, 4 silver quarters or 2 $half, any way you want to slice it, even a little gold dollar, which is 1/20th of an ounce of gold, all of them are known units of measure. The dollar we have today is an unknown quantity. It's a fraction. So if you had a dollar in 1980, you had a fraction expressed as 1/1 trillion. And if you have a dollar today, it's expressed as the fraction 1/19 trillion.
Wow.
So it's one, right? And with that simple understanding, the problem is when we go to look at the dollar, it still looks the same today as it did in 1980. So we never get to see the bottom number of the fraction. And my math teacher used to tell me that's the only important one.
Yeah.
So that's what's wrong. They've moved the ends. Just when you think you can make ends meet, they move them. And that's really the sum of it. If we just went back to a standard dollar so that we knew what a dollar was today, what it will be 10 years from now, it would be a heck of a lot easier for us to save.
And the value of a dollar fluctuates so much, and it's crazy the way our system works. If they want to make more money, they just print more. That's not really the way it should be, is it?
No, in fact, Article 1 of the Constitution is very specific, right? It says, no state shall make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debt. So how we're doing this, I'm not sure. I know here in New Jersey they have us convinced that the right to bear arms means you can wear a short-sleeved shirt. So they must have reinterpreted that first clause, although it seems crystal clear to me.
So getting back onto the subject here of retirement, as people are aging and getting closer to that day where, someday they don't go to work anymore, they retire. There are some people who have their own private retirement account set up, but there are a lot of people who have a Social Security plan. Now, when they get to that retirement age, is that plan even going to still be there in your mind?
Well, yes. I believe that the Social Security Trust Fund will take care of all of those people who have no assets, who are poor, shall we say, because that's really the definition. You reach the age of 65, you can't take care of 70, you can't take care of yourself anymore, you can't work, you don't have any money saved. You can bet that Social Security will be there for those folks. But I think for the means testing, I've even heard one of the Republican candidates, Chris Christie from New Jersey here, talking about means testing. So, in other words, that other person that you mentioned that has private retirement plan or has scrimped and saved and not spent and not consumed and has saved every penny they've gotten their hands on in some sort of a retirement plan, those folks might be said or told, hey, look, you don't need Social Security, so we're going to save it for those folks in the first category. So whether that's fair or not, I guess, remains to be seen, but I think that means testing is the next big bugaboo that will affect Social Security.
Again, visiting today with currency expert Andrew Gause. Now, a lot of the time when you learn from history, it's like way in the past, but this history is pretty current. In Greece, they had kind of a big collapse that just recently happened there. Can America hopefully learn a lesson from that?
No. No, it's too late for America to learn the lesson of Greece. We're already spending more, way more than we take in a given year, and we're funding it all with borrowed money. So, but fortunately, we have our own bank, and the entire world follows the standard. Where Greece really didn't have that option, we just keep printing money that the rest of the world keeps accepting and using for, conducting commerce and storing reserves and things. So we're in a different position than Greece was. We've gone so much further than they did. If all of the dollars around the world came back to the United States and had to be spent here the way, Grecian and Greek money did, the inflation rate would be astronomical. You couldn't even pace it. So Greece had someone to turn to. We don't. We don't have anyone to turn to. We are the world's reserve currency. So whatever our Congress does affects not only us, but the entire world. And unfortunately, if they get nervous about storing their wealth in dollars, well, the danger is that they dump them or get rid of them. And that would, of course, be horrible for anyone with any savings in the United States. You
mentioned the rate of inflation. So why is that such a national secret? First of all, what is the true rate of inflation? Do we even know?
Well, what inflation is more money entering circulation than goods and services. So if you increase the supply of money, say, by 10% per year, then you would have 10% inflation, just so we understand. But as Uncle Sam Cooke's The Books demonstrates, the government is always less than honest when it comes to reporting to us. And so in this case, they measure inflation by its effect on prices. So if prices rise, that's what they tell us is inflation. My definition of inflation, as I outlined in my first book, The Secret World of Money, is an increase in the broad money supply year over year. So if we have 4 times as much money in circulation today as we did in 2007, which we do, then theoretically that rate of inflation is, 4 times divided by, or something around 26 or 27% a year. It's just that all of the effects of inflation have been hidden in places like the Social Security Trust Fund, the Highway Trust Fund, the Airport Trust Fund, and the $19 trillion debt. So with 3 times as much total debt as there is money to pay, goodness knows how much more money will enter circulation. I would think the true rate of inflation would probably go somewhere north of 30%.
I read a thing about maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago on Facebook, and if it's on Facebook, it's true, right?
It's true, yeah, that's right.
I had a friend of mine on there, had a little meme, and it had a picture of the American currency $100 bill, and it said the largest counterfeiter in the world is the U.S. government. And I never really thought about that before, but he was very much talking about the fact that they just keep on printing it. And like you had alluded to earlier, in the Constitution, it was saying that, hey, a piece of paper is not money, gold and silver is money.
Right. The way that it used to work before they closed the gold window is every time they wrote the check, which is the piece of paper, you could cash the check and ask for the gold and silver coin. Now, I ask you, if I give you a checkbook, and you can write all the checks you want that no one could ever cash, how many would you write?
Well,
I mean, what would make you stop? There was no restraining the government, and it is because of the incestuous relationship between the government and the Federal Reserve. So even worse, let's say this: I'm going to give you a checkbook. You can write checks that no one will ever cash, but merely accept as money. You give the checkbook to your best friend, and you say, "Here, you write the checks, and I'll borrow the money from you." Now that is the most insane thing ever, but yet this is exactly how the system has been structured. So instead of Congress printing the money, they simply write a bond. I owe you $10 billion plus interest. Then they hand that bond to their best friend, the Federal Reserve and the owners of the Fed. The Fed creates the $10 billion and loans it back to Congress and collects a tidy interest every year. So which position would you rather have? I say we trade places with the Fed. Let's loan them some money. Because this situation, look where we are. 72 cents of every dollar collected by the government in revenue is necessary just to pay interest on the debt and to repay the Social Security Trust Fund. So that really leaves these guys with 28 cents on the dollar to spend discretionary, and most of that goes to defense. So there's nothing left for anything else. And I think our kids and grandkids are going to hate us for this.
If a person has some money that's currently either sitting in a bank, or if it's cash, dollar bills, and we know that fluctuates, where is a good place for them to go with that? Is there a safe place for a person, something safe for them to invest in that's not affected by that fluctuation?
Yeah, that's a good question for your son. He'll show him what to do. Convert it. You don't have to store your wealth in Federal Reserve notes. No one makes you store those checks. Convert them into what the Constitution calls money: the silver dollars, the half dollars, the quarters, the $20 gold pieces, the $10 gold pieces. That's the way to save your wealth. I think of my first job in 1967, I got 5 silver quarters was my pay for each hour that I worked, $1.25. Now, when I tell that to my kids, they laugh, ha ha ha, until I show them that my 5 silver quarters are worth $21. $21 for a kid starting his first job. That's what the dollar is worth today.
Yeah.
So unless you're making $21 an hour as an entry wage, you're not keeping up with inflation. You need to convert your Federal Reserve notes into lawful money of the Constitution. Anything minted at the Treasury made of gold and silver that meets the standard of the Coinage Act. It's so simple. And once you store your wealth in that instrument, regardless of what they do to the underlying unit, you're keeping pace with inflation. You might not get wealthy, but at least your purchasing power will be the same.
Again, visiting with Andrew Gause, author of The Secret World of Money and Uncle Sam Cooks the Books. Where can we find a copy of these books?
Well, your favorite bookseller. I'm big at shopping downtown, so, go to your bookseller, ask them to order them up for you. I have some audio CDs, of course, the big monsters, the monsters that ate the book business. I think it's Barnes & Noble, Amazon. They, of course, will be able to get it for you. We have some audio CDs, however, that are very popular, and had them made up in bulk. It's one is called The Definition of Money, like we're just talking. What the heck is a dollar anyway?
Yeah.
And then two, the Federal Reserve explains how that institution operates, where it came from, and so forth. And then the third, and this one is the commercial one, how to protect your wealth. So that one tells you how to go about buying this stuff and make sure you're getting a good deal. If your listeners, John, are interested in that subject, they can call and get any one or all three at 800-468-2646. And now mention that you heard it on the John and Heidi Show, and we'll pay for it 100%. No shipping, free, 100% comes to you. 3 half-hour audio CDs, pop them in the car, put them on while you're jogging, and get an understanding of how the money system works. If we're all playing football and we're using the rules of baseball, it's not good. And the three things I remember pounded into my head as a kid: 1, save your money; 2, live debt-free; and 3, pay your debts early. All three of those are the worst things you can do in this economy. So get those CDs, listen to them. They're free. Educate yourself, and who knows, you may learn something. 800-468-2646.
Awesome. Andy, thank you so much for taking some time to visit with us here today.
Well, it's been my pleasure, John.
And it's been a lot of fun and a learning experience for me as well. And I'll tell you, with having a son that is a coin collector and is very into currency, I feel like I've probably heard more than the average person on this subject, but I still learned quite a bit just chatting with you here today. So a wealth of information, and thank you again for taking the time to chat with us.
Yeah, you take advantage of that, John, because that's like having a doctor in the family. You know, he could steer you into the silver dollars and the things that you need quite easily, and you should have a few. I think everyone should have some of their wealth in gold and silver coin, and because if the government is stupid enough to relinquish its gold, it's every citizen's duty to seize it. I think we need to.
Again, the books are called The Secret World of Money and Uncle Sam Cooks the Books. If you'd like to find those at your local favorite bookstore, you can do that. Also available online at the big booksellers. And to call Andy for those audio CDs, I'll give you the telephone number here. It's 800-468-2646. Thank you so much for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by CarsForSale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at CarsForSale.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
All right.
Newly released documents show that Winston Churchill used to watch which movie late at night to inspire him during World War II? What movie do you think it would be?
I have no idea.
Bambi.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I would have never guessed.
Yeah, newly released documents show that Winston Churchill used to watch the movie Bambi late at night to inspire him during World War II.
He was a wonderful man.
He was an interesting guy, I can tell you that. The word bride, another fun fact for you, is derived from an Old English word meaning what? Bride, an Old English word that meant cook.
Really?
Absolutely serious.
Yeah.
So there you go. I thought that was a good thing to share, the day before Thanksgiving and all. So there you go. Coming up, we have some inexpensive and fun holiday party ideas. Some of these are good, some not so much, but they're on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
All right, it's party time. We're going to have a lot of people coming over to the house in the next couple of months here, the next basically month and a half between Thanksgiving tomorrow, and then we got Christmas, and we got New Year's. So here are some fun holiday party ideas. Appetizers make your food budget go a whole lot further. It says especially if you're on a short on seating space and time and resources, but you're going to want to allow 8 hors d'oeuvres per person. They don't have to be expensive and complicated things. Grilled, bacon-wrapped chunks of vegetables, fruits, always popular.
Are you kidding? Only 8?
Well, that's what they're saying.
That is insane.
Tiny half-baked potatoes filled with sour cream and bacon, chives, chili and cheese. Other favorite
I would eat
offerings,
like 30 of those all by
fried
myself.
stuffed ravioli and tortellini and those kind of things. And I will tell you this, I've been to parties where they've had nothing but appetizers. I kind of liked that compared to a sit-down thing where you have to sit down and eat. It's kind of nice because then you can walk around and chat. You can go back over and get some more. Nobody knows if you took seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths. Because, we're all mingling, So, my 8 would be more like 40. All right, number 2 on the list. Rather than serve expensive whole shrimp, smoked salmon, and beef tenderloin, extend them by combining spicy dressings, cream cheese, and veggies for spreads. So saying take those things, chop them up, and mix them into a spread.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Number 3 on the list, for interesting buffet tables, use an array of unmatched china and crystal collective inexpensive things you can find at a garage sale. So they're saying make it look really cool and eclectic by not having things match, but on purpose.
I can't do that. That would drive me
I
insane.
know. You are kind of...
Everything has to be perfectly
I know.
matched.
I live with you. I understand.
Even my Christmas wrapping paper has to match the ornaments on my Christmas tree.
Next thing for a fun holiday party that's saying background music sets a festive mood, but why not add excitement by having live music? Have a piano student come and play, or invite carolers from your local church to drop in and sing if you're doing a Christmas party. Make sure if you're having a piano student that they're not a first-year student, like brand new. Bing, bing, bing. Yeah, let's just roll a tape instead, please. Use snow and ice buckets to cool beverages. Snow chills better than ice, believe it or not, and it looks more festive, and it saves you the money of buying ice. Another thing
but
on here...
it'll melt super fast, won't it?
No.
I mean, you can't bring that in your house.
I don't know. It also says put candles...
Don't pick out the yellow snow.
Yeah, don't do that. Candles make things look good. Next says decorate your table with whatever is close at hand. You don't need to go cut flowers. Use foliage from outside.
Foliage in the middle of the winter?
Yeah, snip down some pine trees.
Dead branches?
I don't know. Purchase strands of tiny white Christmas lights, because that makes everything look really nice, too. And the last thing on the list, clusters of helium balloons make festive decorations for any holiday party. Buy the ribbon and economical commercial-size rolls. So there you go. There's some ideas. If you're having a party at your place, just a couple ideas for you there from, John and Heidi. You have that party and everybody's loving it. So, yeah, thanks to John and Heidi. All right. Coming up, punctuality. It's important. It's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
How important is it to be on time, Heidi?
Very, very important.
One bus driver really thought it was very, very important. He ended up hurting somebody because of it. A 63-year-old woman riding a bus in Edinburgh, England, smashed her head against a window, ultimately needed 14 stitches.
Oh, my gosh.
How did it happen? Well, the bus driver made a sudden acceleration because he was behind schedule. To make sure he stayed on schedule, despite her injuries, he kept driving, refused to stop, and didn't even want to call an ambulance. She's filed a lawsuit, which she will most likely win, because that sounds redonkulous. I mean, it's good to be on time, but if you've got somebody bleeding, somebody that needed 14 stitches, that's a pretty good gash.
That's a pretty good gash, yeah.
It's not like 1 or 2 stitches. 14 stitches. Even 1 or 2 would be bad.
He probably had a few too many warnings, and they told him, if you don't get there on time this time, you're fired. So he was like, I'm getting there.
Right. With or without everybody living. So, yeah, that happened in Edinburgh. So, note to self, if you're ever going to Edinburgh, don't take a bus. All right, coming up, the truth about Thanksgiving. That's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
All right, we have the truth about Thanksgiving. First of all, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Are you ready? You think
I am ready.
I'm ready. Americans will consume more than 700 million pounds of turkey tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah. In 1927, Felix the Cat was the first balloon character ever featured in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. For a short time, there was a tradition of releasing the balloons when the parade was over, and they'd float for days, and the lucky finder would get to claim a prize. So if you were the one that found the balloon, you'd call and say, hey, I found the balloon, and then you'd get a prize. Those balloons are expensive.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much that would cost? All right, Thanksgiving is the second largest occasion for Americans to gather together and eat. What do you think is the first?
The first.
First is...
Arbor Day.
No. What? We all know those Arbor Day feasts and how big those can get. No, it's Christmas, and the second is the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, the third is the Super Bowl. The very first American Thanksgiving was celebrated in what year?
I don't know.
We just watched a movie that had that.
I didn't pay attention.
It was a
to
terrible
the year.
movie. We watched Freebirds. Oh, man.
It was awful.
So historically inaccurate.
Yeah, it was
But the one
awful.
thing they did get right was the year 1621. Jingle Bells, the popular Christmas song, was actually written for Thanksgiving. The song was composed in 1857 and was originally called One Horse Open Sleigh. So there you go. and it was for Thanksgiving, not Christmas. A little bit of info right there about Thanksgiving. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
As we approach Thanksgiving, there's another holiday that happens this week. It's called Black Friday. And then there's Shop Small Saturday. And then next week we've got Cyber Monday. But now it's kind of turning into Black Thursday because a lot of the places are opening earlier and earlier. But last year, consumers spent an average of $786 on holiday gifts. The latest poll from Gallup, if it's correct, they're going to be sitting on their wall a little more this year, from $786 down to $704. At the same time, American consumers planned to spend $770. Last year, they ended up doing $786, so they spent a little more. But 63% of American consumers say Black Friday doesn't offer the deals that they want, and they're not going out at all. They say, I'm not impressed, I'm not going to be out there. So to find out where and what people are going for, Wallet Hub put together their little studies that they like to do. It says additional discounts for waiting until Black Friday.
I have not seen the list. I have not seen anything that's offered yet, so I don't know.
They're saying that you can actually save more money if you don't buy on Black Friday in a lot of cases. Books and movies and music are places where you can, and video games. Those are things you can save. Some toys, some consumer packaged goods, jewelry, furniture, things like that. There are some discounts where you actually get
you just have to know what you're shopping for. Just like with anything, you have to know the prices. You don't just buy it just because it was in a flyer. You have to know if it's worth the hassle or not. Well,
68% of items will have a significant Black Friday discount, 10% or more, and thus it is worth waiting till Black Friday to purchase those. 14% of items will have Black Friday prices similar to what they currently sell for. So you should do your research ahead of time and go, how much is that $20 waffle iron when it's not on sale?
I know all of that stuff instinctively. That is one area that I am very, very,
She's like
very good.
Rain Man when it comes to that. Definitely
Rain Man.
Definitely,
I'm terrible at math every other time, but when I go shopping, I just know it. It's insane.
This is 40% off. What does that mean? That means I'm buying 8 of those. That's what that means. Everybody's going to get one of those.
40%. I don't even cross the street for 40%.
All right, a little bit of info there on Black Friday. If you're going to do it, if you're going out to do that, just make sure you do it in a smart way because you can get yourself in all kinds of trouble if you don't do it right. Coming up, we've got some good news. That is on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
We always try to find something positive to share as we get to the end of this program, and I found something today that I thought was kind of a neat thing. A Michigan restaurant owner's heartfelt offer for some Thanksgiving hospitality has struck a chord after a photo of a sign at the eatery went viral on the internet last week. According to ABC News, George Sennett, Coney Island.
I saw this online.
Did you see it?
I did.
His Coney Island has offered lonely customers a free meal on Thanksgiving for the last 10 years. But on Thursday, a passerby noticed a sign in the window with the offer, snapped a quick shot, and posted it to the social media website Reddit, which I've never even heard of. Restaurateur George Demopoulos told ABC News that there is a very personal reason for his generosity. Do you know why?
Why?
He says, the reason I do this is because I was alone at one time. He says, I remember the good times and the bad times. So he says, you know what? I want to make sure that nobody's alone. I want to make sure that they get to go and have fun, too.
That's nice.
I think that's really cool. Now, we talked about this last Friday, but I'm going to do it again because tomorrow is Thanksgiving. If you know somebody in your neighborhood that you're maybe thinking they're going to be home alone tomorrow and not going to be celebrating with somebody, go over and do the neighborly thing. This kind of thing would have happened all the time back in the day, but it seems like it's more and more rare. Just go over and say, hey, do you have plans for tomorrow?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Please join us.
You want to come join us? Because think about this. On Friday, it is National Leftovers Day because that's all the extra food.
Oh, my gosh. And
I
there's
think
so much of it.
I think Monday is National Throw Away the Leftovers Day because you didn't eat them. So it's got to go to waste anyway.
I don't think that has ever happened at our house, though. We always eat those Thanksgiving leftovers.
We throw leftovers away all the time.
Oh, yeah, most nights. but not on Thanksgiving because that stuff is awesome.
But I'm saying if you could do that one tiny little thing, just think about this. If even only a fistful of people listening decided, you know what, I am going to do that. I'm going to invite the neighbor over. I'm going to invite that lady. I'm going to invite that guy. I'm going to invite that person. First of all, it's going to be something that's going to make you feel good, but it's going to make a difference for them too, and it's going to make everybody's holiday a little merrier. So if you could do that, that would be an awesome thing to do. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And it's time now for the bonus break, brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. I just recorded an advertisement for the Dollar Shave Club, Heidi. I thought it was pretty clever. I'm gonna read it for you here. I should have opened this. What you?
I'm on the edge of my seat. I can't wait.
I think it's pretty good. It says, this time of year, I'd rather not go to the store any more than I need to. Because that's me. I hate going to the store. Those places are packed full of people right now. One more reason I'm glad that I'm a member of the Dollar Shave Club. No need to go to the store. They deliver razors right to my door. It's an awesome way to get awesome razors delivered. Did I say awesome twice? No, it's amazing. It's an awesome. This is why I record things and play them back. I can't read. It's an awesome way to get amazing razors delivered to you for as little as $3 a month. Mm-hmm. Save time, save money with Dollar Shave Club. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio. And if you don't like it, Heidi will buy them from you. No, I didn't really say that. If you don't like it, you can cancel at any time. So it's not like you're stuck into this, oh, man, I hate these things. I'm stuck in an agreement. They don't want you to buy the razors if you don't like them. But I'm telling you, you're going to like them. Check it out. Awesome razors delivered to you for $3 a month. dollarshaveclub.com/radio. You ready for this bonus break?
I am ready.
All right. How about we go right here. 70-year-old Donald Caesar is sitting in the Erie County, Pennsylvania prison after he tried to solve his financial woes with an old school bank robbery. Didn't quite go so well. He marched into the First National Bank in Mill Creek Township with a grocery bag and a bandana and the 50-year-old handgun that didn't even work. The poor guy had no previous criminal record. He immediately apologized for the robbery when police tracked him down based on his description. Donald says he also wants to apologize to the teller who turned over about $6,000 to him. Police found that all of the money at his home. He, again, was 70 years old. Had no criminal record up until that point. So I wonder what would cause a 70-year-old man to go in and rob a bank.
He's probably on the verge of losing his home. And
it's just, that's really sad. I wish I was in a position to just say, you know what, you need $6,000, here you go. I'm going to help you out.
Absolutely.
That would be, but now he's in prison instead. A father and son in Sweden have been fined repeatedly for throwing eggs at another family's home. The 18-year-old high school senior told his dad that he was having trouble with a boy at school. The 42-year-old father, thinking back to his glory days of his youth, said, hey, let's go egg his car, which they did several times for several months until they finally got caught, and now they got fined. That happened in Sweden.
Okay.
You can't make that up.
That's the kind of parenting that I would take part in.
I know you would.
Isn't it? That's why you're laughing.
Because I could see how
that would be my idea.
Really? She's bugging you at school? Let's go egg her car. Wow.
I'll help you take care of this. Don't worry, honey. Mommy's got it.
Yeah, it's covered. Don't worry, baby. It's all covered. Wow. Take a listen to this. The holidays are here, and Yahoo wants to help. Yahoo has compiled a list of 19 of their favorite pies, Heidi. Options range from the standard pumpkin pie. I got the hiccups today. Can you tell?
I can tell.
Have I,
You've done a brilliant job of covering it up so far, but I just know you so well that I was able to pick up on that.
If you didn't have the trained ear that Heidi has. So sorry. I've been trying to muster through this. I've been trying to get rid of them, too. They have options ranging from the standard pumpkin pie to a black pepper and grapefruit meringue pie. All 19 are available on their Yahoo website, and I'm going to throw a link on our Facebook page, so if you want to see them, go to facebook.com/John and Heidi Show, and you'll find it right there. I don't think I would try that. I love black pepper. I
don't think I would try black pepper grapefruit.
Yeah, I don't like grapefruit.
I like grapefruit, but I can't imagine that would be, I don't know, maybe it would be very, very good.
I don't know if those, a black pepper and grapefruit meringue pie. I wonder if that's all one pie or if those are two different pies.
I don't know.
It's like green eggs and ham. Is it green eggs and green ham, or is it just green eggs? But in the picture, the ham was green too. Yeah. Wouldn't that have been green eggs and green ham?
Yeah.
See, I don't know if this is a
black
pepper pie.
What is your favorite pie?
You know, I love peach pie. I love blueberry pie. I love pumpkin pie. I love apple pie. I love cherry pie. I love coconut cream pie. Oh, I can't believe it took me that long to get to that. I don't know. I just kind of like.
Just like pie.
I kind of like pie. That could be one of the reasons I weigh what I weigh. You want dessert? Of course. All right, that's going to do it for the bonus break. Brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. Folks, do yourself a favor. Check them out. DollarShaveClub.com/radio.